What is the Baghdad Battery and why do we still not know how it worked? It's an artifact that was discovered in the 1930s near modern-day Baghdad. It dates back to between 250 BCE and 250 CE, which is the Parthian or Sassanid periods. The artifact itself is pretty simple. It consists of a terracotta pot, a copper tube, and an iron rod, sometimes sealed with asphalt or bitumen. But that simplicity is what makes it so interesting, because it's not clear what it was used for. We don't have any contemporary written records explaining it, and there are several competing theories. The most popular one is that it was a battery used for electroplating precious metals. This was first proposed by German archaeologist Wilhelm Kigg in 1938. Proponents of this battery theory suggest that these devices were used for various purposes, including electroplating, medical therapy, electrostimulation, perhaps even religious or ritual uses, maybe even as a shock effect. But there are several counter-arguments to this idea. Firstly, there is no evidence of wires or any other conductive connections that would have been needed to complete a circuit. Secondly, we don't know of any electroplated objects from the region and period that could have been created using such a low voltage. And thirdly, the materials could have had non-electrical uses. For example, a 2nd century Roman writer mentions using copper as a mirror, and the Parthians and Sasanians both valued copper and silver mirrors highly. The iron and copper rods could have been used to hold scrolls or other sacred texts, and the terracotta jar could have been used to hold liquids or other substances used in rituals. So it's possible that these objects were not used as batteries, but for religious or ritual purposes. Or perhaps they were just coincidentally placed together and not designed to be used as an electrical device. Several people have reproduced the device since the 1940s, and they've shown that it can generate a small electric current when filled with an acidic liquid. However, no one can agree on whether that was its intended purpose. Some think it was used as a storage jar or container for sacred scrolls or texts, perhaps similar to the Ark of the Covenant described in the Bible. Others believe it was a religious or ritual item, given the symbolic meanings of iron and copper in ancient cultures. Some believe it was used for medical purposes, though the evidence is circumstantial at best. And then there's the simple explanation. Maybe it's just a simple corrosion artifact, and the whole thing is just a coincidence. I hope you enjoyed this episode with a special thanks to my patrons.